On today's show, we're going to talk about the biggest mistake fathers make. Welcome to Father Time. My name is Greg, and I'm glad to be here along with my fellow men.
I'm Samuel.
I'm Alexander.
And today we're going to discuss a couple different points. So I'm going to turn it right over to Sam because I think he's got a really good subject in mind.
All right. Yeah, today I wanted to talk about palabra. Obviously, it's a Mexican word that means word. And that I think being a person of your word is a very important trait and character of who you are as a person. And that's something that in our classes, that I facilitate. We talk about that. We talk a lot about being a person of your word. To you, Greg, how important is that to be a person of your word? And are you a person of your word?
So to answer your question, Alex or Sam, right? I think it's important because I look towards my kids and I said, "Man, I wanted you to clean your room. You said you were going to clean your room." Right? And when they don't, that's a point of them not living up to their word. So then it becomes even more important for me to live up to my word. So if I say we're going to Six Flags, we got to go to Six Flags.
Exactly. Yeah. So how about you, Alex? You a man of your word?
Honestly, no, I'm not.
If you're honest.
No, I'm not. And why do I say that? It's a perfect subject for today. So I got up this morning. Long story short, my wife came up to me and she woke me up and she was basically calling me out on some of the words that I had given. There were some things that I said that I would be doing, and she called me out and said, "Hey, you're not doing the things that you said you were going to do." And so I started thinking about, the young fathers, uh, men out there, of course, women too, but I mean, we focus on the men. Sometimes we're just set in our ways. There are some things that you can change, and there are some things that you can't change. Like your personality and your character, that might not change because you were like that since you were a kid. Um, but I think, to answer your question, I'm not a man of my word probably like 25% of the time, but I think being aware that you're not doing it, and then especially if you have a partner with you that's kind of holding you accountable, then you can work on that part of your life, which is very important. I didn't really think about I mean, as you grow up, you've heard the phrase like a man is only as good as his word. But when I started working with and partnering with the San Antonio Fatherhood campaign, that's when it became more and more important, significant, and there was more emphasis on that. So it's very, very important that now that I keep my word. So now I got to do some work to get back to what I had said I would do.
Yeah. And I think that's important because we're never perfect in this, right? And believe me, my kids will call me out. They'll say, "Dad, you said we're going to do this." Yeah. Then I had my boss call me and say, "No, you got to do that."
Mm-hmm.
What do you
I
do?
tell you, kids hold you accountable. I mean, forever. I remember tell a short story. I remember one of my kids, back in elementary. I told her, if you get straight A's, I'll buy you a bike. She hadn't got straight A's before. And I thought, well, man, what's a possibility that she's gonna get straight A's, right? And of course, I had no money to buy a bike at the time. So anyway, she comes yelling at me one day. "Oh my God, look, Dad!" She's running up to me and she goes, "Look!" She hands me this piece of paper and I look at it. I'm like, "What is?" I'm looking at it. "I got straight A's. You owe me a bike." I'm like, "Well, why do I owe you a bike for?" She goes, "You remember you told me that that if I got straight A's, you're gonna." And in my head, I'm telling myself, "Yeah, I remember, but I don't remember. I'm an old dude. Remember, I'm your dad." So she ended up getting that bike like 6 years later, but
Oh, dude.
she held me accountable for quite a long time, dude. So
Yeah, and I think we've all done that at some point where
yeah,
we've said
everybody's done
something.
that. Everybody's done that.
Yeah. Now I will say though, when I talk to the fathers in the class, um, I do tell them, the worst thing you can do is break your word to a child.
Yeah. Because they remember. That's
And
crazy.
they remember. And then also what I think it leads to is it also leads to them thinking the same thing. Meaning like, well, I guess I could break my word too.
Yeah. And
So then,
but to bring it like even to like an adult level, why we're doing these things, it's like to your own spouse, to your significant other, breaking your word, that vow, I love you, you only, no one ever come between us. It's keeping that word, in order for you to grow, as a couple, for you to grow in unity with one another, with total trust and understanding and compassion, and not having to worry about being, disloyal to somebody, or somebody's gonna go, and don't be one of those people that, when the phone rings, who is it? Who's that? I mean, obviously there's trust issues and stuff, so your word means a lot, because if your word actually means something and people take it for what it is, then that means people will count on you. That means people say, this is a guy of his word, and if he says he's going to do it, he's going to do it. So I'm going to put my bet on that's exactly what's going to be done.
Sometimes isn't that some of the issue? It's how many men do we know that I'll say, she just doesn't trust me. No. But if we keep our word, then we build that trust.
Exactly.
At some point, we got to own this, right? My kids say, "Oh, Dad, I just don't trust you. You're not going to take it to Golden Corral. You say that, and you never do it." Right? And I said,
what I tell my kids, Greg? I don't tell my kids I'm going to take them somewhere if I know I'm not going to take them somewhere. Now they get upset.
People do that. A lot of people do that just to get the person to calm down, or to shut up, or to get them off your back. They'll tell you a lie just to.
No, but what I'm saying, Sam, is that, because I know what you're saying. I think you thought I said the opposite. What I'm saying is, if I can't take them to Fiesta, Texas, if I can't take them to SeaWorld, then I'm not going to give them my word that I'm going to take them.
Yeah.
I will not. If they say, "Hey, if I get straight A's, will you take me to Fiesta, Texas?" and I know I don't have money to take the whole family to Fiesta, Texas, I might say, "No, I'm not going to take you to Fiesta, Texas." Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not going to make a promise that I can't.
I'll take you to Brackenridge Park instead.
And I get that, right? But when we do fall short, when we forget, or we get busy, or something else comes up, we're only human. All I can do is go back to my kids and own it, right? Yeah. So yes, you're right. I made a mistake.
Yeah, and then also real quick,
creating that conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So over the
but once in a while, if you make a mistake, it's okay. But it's not something you can just use as an excuse. Hey, I made a mistake. I made a mistake.
Don't make a habit of it. Don't make a habit.
Yeah.
So
we're running out of time, Sam.
Exactly. So what I wanted to say is that, for the next few weeks, I want to continue to talk about this subject of palabra, because not only does it mean being a person of your word, but we also look at it as being responsible for your actions, rejecting any type of abuse to yourself or to others, using your words, and of course, being that role model for your children, being not only that role model, but that example that you set for them, so when they go into adulthood themselves. So, Greg, go ahead and take it from here. Appreciate it. Thank you all for watching.
Wonderful conversation. Thank you guys so much for joining us. My name is Greg.
Samuel.
Alexander.
And we look forward to talking to you in our next segment with FatherTime. Until then, be good.
Peace.
Hey, Greg, before you answer, I just want to ask a quick question. It's a technical question. Are all three of our pictures supposed to be up on the screen, or is this how we usually do it?
So whatever
we're good?
And that's what they're seeing.
Okay, sounds good.
Something differently.
Okay.
So to answer,
we're just learning this, fellas. Or people, audience. Keep going.
Killing me. You're killing me, Alex. Okay. On today's show, we're going to talk about the worst, biggest mistake fathers make.